Every morning when the Jewish people wake up, we have a list of blessings that we say, thanking God for the various ways that He has benefited us. One of those blessings is thanking God for the ability to distinguish between day and night. You see, the ability to distinguish between day and night, between light and dark, between good and evil, between that which is true and that which is false, is the most blessed ability of all. We are living in a world of confusion, and it has been that way since the days of Adam and Eve, when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. At that point in time, good and evil became intertwined. Our job is to detangle the mess, to remove good and evil from each other strand by strand. People ask me why I'm creating this series in which we examine the claims of Christianity against the claims of Judaism. People are worried that it won't bring peace. But is a state of confusion truly peace? Peace can only be reached when a person knows who they are, why they were created, and what they are supposed to be doing. The Jewish people don't seek converts. We very specifically don't seek converts because we believe that every human being was created with merit. It doesn't matter what skin color you have. It doesn't matter what body you were born into. It doesn't matter if you're disabled or you're not disabled. It doesn't matter what language you speak or where you live. You were created for a reason, and you can accomplish something powerful in this world just by being you. The Jewish people were given 613 commandments when we stood at Mount Sinai. These are things that define our relationship with God. Now, we understand that this is our requirements, but is not the requirements of people who are not Jewish. You have your own way of serving God, and you can retain your culture, your likes, your personality, everything that makes you you, if you only follow the 7 universal commandments for humankind, which are also known as the Noahide laws. You can learn more about them on asknoah.org. Other religions in the world don't believe that outsiders of that religion have merit. In fact, Christianity teaches that all non-believers will suffer forever in a lake of fire. Moreover, the New Testament teaches that until the Jewish people all convert to belief in Jesus as both Lord and Messiah, then Jesus cannot make his second coming. Millions of dollars are raised each year to convert the Jew to Christianity. And though the church has historically used bloody, forced conversion methods in which men, women, and even tiny children were tortured or even burned alive at the stake, the Jewish people have never accepted Jesus as our Lord and Messiah. The reason for this is very simple. You see, the Jewish Bible was completed long before the New Testament came into being. And in our Torah, God told us very specifically that if anybody comes along and claims to be a God that we have not historically served, we are forbidden to follow them. Not only that, but nobody is allowed to add or subtract from the commandments that we were given at Mount Sinai. And the Torah gave us very specific distinguishing features of who the Messiah will be. And though the New Testament was joined by the Christian church to the Hebrew Scriptures, it was done in a parasitic manner. Now, that doesn't mean that the average Christian is evil. It doesn't mean that at all. So many Christians are absolutely wonderful people, and they truly are sincere, and they are seeking to serve God. However, if you're seeking to serve the God of Israel, the best place to go is to the Jewish people, to the children of Israel. We know our Torah. We know what our Torah has to say. Unfortunately, because we have stood so strong against the claims of Christianity throughout the years, new tactics are constantly being tried. Since around the 1970s, the church took a completely different tactic. They saw that the Jew is not afraid of an eternal lake of fire, nor is the Jew afraid of the forced conversion methods that have been used throughout the years. So instead of trying to win us through torture, the church is now trying to win us through sweetness and through the blurring of boundaries. Millions and millions of dollars are raised each year to devise tactics of how to reach the least reached people group on earth. In other words, the Jews. The newest tactic of reaching the Jewish people is to put a Jewish face on Christianity, to tell Jewish people that the most Jewish thing you can do is to serve Jesus. Very frequently in this generation, you'll find Christians who are wearing a Star of David with a cross inside of it, or who are reading the New Testament while wearing a kippah and a talit, or lighting Shabbat candles at a church service. This blurring of boundaries is very offensive to the Jewish people. All of these traditions are not even found in the Tanakh. These are things that have been passed down through rabbinic tradition. And the same Christianity that scorns rabbinic tradition is using these Jewish symbolisms as a way to woo heritage-proud Jews to their movement. There have even been missionaries who have called themselves Orthodox Jews and have moved into Orthodox Jewish communities and have claimed to have been rabbis and scribes and ritual circumcisers, and by doing so, they have caused Jewish people to transgress certain commandments. This blurring of boundaries is highly offensive to the Jewish people. See, the blurring of boundaries only adds to confusion in the world. And unfortunately, there are even a few Jews who claim to be Orthodox, but at the same time have overstepped those boundaries and are normalizing the missionizing attempts by pointing followers to missionary websites in which they will learn the Tanakh, or the Hebrew Bible, through a Christological lens. Such people can also be found singing in churches and performing together with Christian messianic musicians, helping to normalize the missionizing attempts. I don't claim to know the personal belief system of such people. I do, however, want to call out the overstepping of healthy boundaries. You see, boundaries are put in place to provide respect for the world. A person who doesn't know boundaries is a person who can easily become a rapist or a murderer or do something else evil. Mutual respect comes from knowing who I am and who you are, not by forcing ourselves one upon another. To the Christian, I say this: I value you as a creation of God. But respect of the Jewish people means to know your boundaries. To the Jew who normalizes missionizing activities, I say this: I love you, my dear brother, my dear sister. But ultimately, your actions are blurring the boundaries and causing confusion. To the person who is truly seeking God, but has been exposed to the claims of Christianity, I say this: if you want to learn the Torah, learn it from the Jewish people who have never forsaken the Torah. Do not learn it through a Christological lens as taught to you by the Christian people. Christianity only came into place after the Jewish Bible was complete. We have never accepted Jesus as our Lord and Messiah, and we never will. If you would like to know what the Jewish Bible actually says, please keep following. And if you would like a greater, more in-depth research, check out Tovia Singer on YouTube. He goes far more in depth than anything that I could ever do. Keep following, and may this be a blessed week for you.